What's up, guys? So I just got back from a 2-week vacation. Me and my wife took a cruise through the Panama Canal, and I got home and this was on my waiting here for me. So this is definitely a 2-person job. I've been down here for about a fucking hour and a half trying to get the box open. The brown shipper itself, I don't know how much you can see, it might be out of the frame, but that is 4 foot by 2.5 foot by maybe 2 foot. It's the biggest fucking box I've gotten yet. The package says 70 pounds on it, but I would be willing to bet it's a lot more than that. But so it's in a brown shipper, and then it's in a white plain box, and then it's in like a thick cardboard. I would describe it as a crate because the top of the lid comes off. I definitely recommend 2 people doing it. So I got it out of the crate. I took the tape off. I haven't opened anything up yet. I don't know if it's going to fit on my usual display table, so we'll see how far it goes, because I know the water base itself is like 2.5 feet. So this is pretty cool. This is the top of the crate, and the rest of the what I'm calling a crate is just like black. So there's no design or artwork on there. Alright, so it comes in one box, black styrofoam, has the certificate on there. I have number 18. It says 513 on here. I think that is what they, the original number they put out, and if you're not familiar with ECC, if they don't hit their number, they only make as many, they only produce as many as they sell or pre-order, maybe a couple more. With my Gizmo, I think Gizmo was supposed to be 500 and it ended up at like 220 something. The exact number is not 100% sure, but I was told 220 and maybe like a sample, which I have a sample. So, but anyway. This is 18 of 513, but my box, which you probably can't see, says 18 of 300. So I don't know if this was, 300 boxes that fit on the first truck, or if they just ended up with 300 of them. So I guess we'll find out when they start popping up. Alright, so of course, this is all one piece, and it looks like the first piece, which is the base, is on the bottom. So again, here's where I wish I had a second person, but let's see what we got here. So there's a manual. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going to have to look into this because it looks like it has some different information. Maybe they had a couple different rough drafts and, we got the final product, but I'll have to read through that. So, we'll see if I can get to the water base. I'm assuming that's the bulk of the weight. Yeah, this isn't too heavy. Oh. I don't have a lot of room down here. And this is all your weight right here. Holy shit! This thing probably weighs like 30 or 40 pounds. Got a name tag on the back, which is kind of dumb, but I get my own made. I can't really see that, but this is too heavy to fool around with. So what's weird here, these holes are hollow, so I can feel in the base. So I don't know where the weight is. And again, I apologize, the camera's in the corner, I don't know how much you can see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It does have a light up feature where the overhead, like the dock lights, light up. So it would have been cool to put something in there to light up. Yeah, that's pretty badass. Alright, so this is light. So probably 75% of your weight of this box is in just that base. Alright, so I see some wires running through here, so I guess this is where the light would go through. It does have little LED lights on the front, so maybe that does shine down onto the young Jason in the water. Alright, I gotta look at these instructions because I don't want to fuck this thing up. This is the most expensive thing I've bought yet. It's the biggest box, well, the biggest box I've ever had was the life-size Slimer from Hollywood Collectibles group. That came in a fucking freight truck on a pallet. But my second biggest box, which is pretty close to this, was the Natiri life-size bust from Avatar, because, you know, life-size version, she was like 10 foot tall. So if you have that or seen that, this box is a bigger than that, but it's the closest box that I've ever had to it. Okay, so it looks like the front poles go in the water. That's why it's hollow. Maybe this whole thing's not hollow, but you can put your finger in the holes and you have room in the front to back. This is kind of just wiggling here. Oh, there we go. So there is an indentation through the base in whatever the bottom of the lake. There's an indentation where these would go. So this, okay, it's not all the way in. So there are metal terminals or connectors on the bottom of the base. I'm assuming they connect to these. They connect to make these LEDs work, and then also the peg on Jason's foot, or this might be where the overhead light is. So everything goes through the base. So you have to make sure these metal connectors are lined up, and you want to make sure this base is in here secure, because you don't want a fucking $3,000 statue falling over because you made a stupid mistake. Like, this is a little too wobbly, but I think it'll be alright. Alright, so they show Jason on there second, and then they show the light. So let me put him up. This isn't my favorite version of Jason. do love all the classics, but I love when they modernize things. And I'm a big fan of the 2009 remake. I've met Derek several times and he's fucking awesome, so that makes me more of a fan. But this is probably my least favorite Jason, aside from, you know, part 1 and part 2, before the character actually got a look. Alright, so that's one peg. You can see the glass eyes, so they did a pretty good. I mean, you can see that they're glass. They don't look fake, they look really good. Looks alright. I mean, I gotta go over them later, but so the machete feels like real metal. I did hear one of the big things that they said when they were making this was it was going to have the glass or acrylic eyes and it was going to have a metal machete. I don't really think that's a big deal, but when something's expensive, they think something as simple as a metal machete makes up for the fucking price. But this is pointing down, so you want to make sure you get it in there and read the instructions on how it's supposed to be, because you don't want that to fall and nick up the base. But it seems pretty secure. Alright, so here's the light. This has a little bit of weight to it also. A little surprise, actually. So I'm not going to plug this in or anything. Most of my shit, I never put batteries, or I'll plug it in and make sure that it works, but I never use it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet. I do get a lot of dust down here, and I have to dust and sweep quite often because it's a traveled area, because I have a back exit. But for these, they're going to be my most expensive pieces. I think I want to have you know, like an enclosed display, something like you'd see at like a Comic-Con show or something. I haven't looked into them yet. I don't know how much they're going to cost, so that's going to be a big factor. So either I'm going to get a display made. I have this, the Freddy ordered, which should be coming very soon. I have the Mohawk on the printer ordered, and I'll also be getting the Pennywise, which it hasn't went up to order yet, to my knowledge. So this looks like there's a wing nut that screws it on through the bottom of the base. So hopefully I can get my fingers under there and I won't have to disassemble this all over again. I don't know whether the washer would go on the top, or I would assume it would go on the bottom because there's an electrical connector here. So I don't think the washer would go on the top. Alright, so this looks a little weird to me. So I cannot see where the wing nut is. So I think you would need a second person. You'd have to take Jason back off and screw this on and then put the base on, which I'm not going to do now. I don't want to hold this video up any longer, and I don't want to fuck this this electrical connector up, so I am going to take this back down. I suppose you can display them with or without it. I think it's really cool. It does add a much larger display area needed for your statue, but without it, it's still pretty cool. A lot of people had a problem with the mask. I've always had a problem with this mask. Like I said, it's not my favorite Jason. It looks okay. I mean, I think the eyes are a little too round, but I'm not really picky with shit like that. But a lot of people were complaining about the mask, but I'll probably display them without the mask, but just for the sake of the video. So these straps, I don't think it'll scratch it. I think they thought this through, and there's like a foam, almost like a styrofoam layer on the inside of the mask to protect it. If I do display it, I'll probably just put it like that. But normally, I might put the mask on because, I don't know, I'll have to check it out. But that's what you got. Is it worth $3,000? I'll have to put the lights on it and see what it looks like and really go over it, but it is big. It's much bigger than a quarter scale. I know it's third scale, but I don't know if you can see that. The Lord of Darkness is my only third scale, so that's the only thing I have to base off of size. I have the half scale and the Tiri. Well, it's legendary scale. It's not really half scale. So this is what I was basing it off of. It does actually look a little bigger than that, but the overall appearance makes it just a big, huge piece. But overall, it's nice. I don't know if I'm sold on the price tag, but it's definitely going to be the best Jason statue to date that's out there. One thing I kind of have an issue with is the way the face is pointing down. A lot of, I've said this before, but I don't think artists or whatever you want to call sculptors, they don't think of people are going to have to display these at different levels. So somebody might have this on a shelf up here, so yeah, he'll look good, he's looking down. But for somebody like me, who's going to have it probably in the same height that it is now, I'm looking at the top of his fucking head. So that's always something that bugs me with poses that they choose. I don't think they take into consideration the height, different height levels that people are going to display them at. But this is what you got. I'll get you some close-ups and then I'll cut this thing off. So, to be honest, if it didn't have this base, I probably would not have purchased this. But I did sell probably 80% of my collection, and I decided to focus on the ECC horror stuff. So I think that'll be a little cooler with those LED lights. I hope it kind of ripples off of the water effect there. But so I'm 5'9", and you know, this is at the height of my eyes. You can see you're looking down at him. That's kind of what I was referring to. I would like to see the whole shot. I guess he looks okay from further back, but this one doesn't bother me so much, but I do have some pieces that it bothers me. I think they could have done a better job on this for $3 grand on the paint job and the scar, But the eyes are really cool. I can't tell on the, sorry, I'm getting out of focus here. Can't really tell on the teeth, but I think if they were acrylic, they would look a lot better. They don't really pop out. Again, it could be because his face is pointing down. I don't know how much of this the camera is picking up. But, I mean, I'm satisfied with the piece for sure. It's got a lot going on, and I think it'll grow on you over time. I wasn't completely satisfied with the gizmo, but after looking at some past ones, I'm happy with what I got there. So yeah, I'll have to look at it some more, mess with the display, make sure lights work. Here's the mask here. Alright, you guys got any questions? Anything I can try and help you with, just drop me a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.